Uh, we actually just got home. I slept an entire flight in an aisle seat. Quite a blessing. Um, the reason I'm touching my face is yesterday I shaved my face for the first time in 9 years, like with a razor and shaving cream and all that. And it's still totally weirding me out. Although I did rediscover this, which I've always enjoyed. This line, and then this line, and this line. This little rule of threes, and then if I furrow my brow, maybe there's a fourth. No. Line, line, line. That was kind of neat. And my big dimples. That's my face. I think my face looks weird without hair on it, though. Just a little bit. Just some. Hopefully I'll have some in a few days. Um, today, as an adjunct to the prayer conversation I think I was having yesterday or the day before, and that what I pray for, in a way, becomes a really specific reflection of that which is important to me and that which should be important to me. I think the dark side of that, that God can use communion, direct communion with Him, to shape you in that way, but then also can use temptation and the sort of the assailing of dark forces from either my own selfish nature, or from who knows what else is going on out there spiritually. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man, from 1 Corinthians 10:13. This dude Paul wrote that. And there is no temptation that taken you, but such as is common to man. I think that's almost a warning against self-aggrandizement, or to sort of self-aggrandize in one's own torment, which I know y'all have seen. I know I've seen, like, people who, Garland, you've probably seen it for sure. People who kind of like become sort of obsessed with their own darkness, their own addictions, or and tend to like, oh man, this is just, and tend to kind of glorify their own struggle. And to glorify your own struggle beyond just simply what it is, in a way, kind of deifies it in a way, and can draw you away, and it can be an excellent test. So in a way, the more you aggrandize that which is dark within you, the more that actually becomes who you are. You kind of enable that darkness to take you over. I also feel like God lets temptation linger, even if I've given my life over to Him fully, and I'm doing, well, I guess not fully, because I'm doing it more and more every day. But that by no means stops any sort of struggle or darkness or anything. It just means I get to have a partner in crime, in trying to avoid letting temptation become sin, because temptation is going to happen to all. The holiest of the holy, and the lowliest of the low, and the greasiest of the greasy. Everyone's going to have temptation to do or think or align their life in ways that are improper, that are against God's law, that are against perhaps even common sense, certainly against any sort of what's the word, like a loving angle to someone else. And those can be tiny little things, selfish reticence, or deliberate actions against other people. It could be lusts, envies, again, the various forms of deifying anything else but that which we're supposed to deify. And I truly believe God lets those temptations just keep coming. And to almost do the same thing that prayer can do, in that it like highlights that what you struggle with. Because if there's some areas that some people just aren't tempted in. I've talked to RT before about like, I'd be like, well, no, sometimes you just totally want to like murder people, right? I mean, you want to do bodily harm to people because they're driving you crazy or whatever. You want to just start smashing them. I've talked to plenty of people who have had them. Yeah, of course, I know what you're talking about. Archie was like, did not really suffer that temptation at all, which is very strange to me. I was like, no, all human beings have that. Mostly me. So we all have different things that we struggle with, and different things that are just no problem at all. So we really don't even get tempted in those areas. But that which we struggle with is merely just a highlighting of here's yet another, here's an area you still haven't given up, and here's an area you're still you're almost deliberately lacking in. Because if you're still suffering these temptations, there's something about you that almost kind of has to let them get that foot in the door. And a thing I've really joyed in lately is trying to nip those in the bud, so to speak. So they still pop up, and I go, okay. Let's say when a beautiful woman walks by, there is such a thing as just purely joyful observation of the art that is the female form, but it is a very, very thin line between that and objectification, which I don't, or straight up lust of being like, I want to do that person. So I've been trying and struggling with just to almost lunge towards God in those moments. To not indulge those thoughts to the point where it starts to become more than just a temptation, or more of just a glance, not suffused with any darkness, and just trying to lunge towards Him. And it's funny that even when I successfully do that, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be attacked in that same border. And then it also, funnily, doesn't mean that, that's just a little feint. It's almost even not that complex a fight. It's not a little feint from that area, and then I'm going to be tempted in some other area immediately afterwards. At least me, lately, it's been sort of single-focus stuff that I might, I guess, just, again, muscle memory, learn those pathways, almost as in prayer to, okay, here's the areas I'm struggling with, so these are the things these are the buds I have to recognize to nip. Anyway, that's just what I'm thinking about today. And I guess this whole thing too, this Corinthians thing, really is almost a validation of God never gives you more than you can handle, which is true and not true. I guess it's a sort of a paraphrastic way of putting things, but he never gives you more than He can handle. So really, I, in and of myself, am lacking enough that I'm going to fail over and over again, honestly, in terms of temptation, in terms of leading a righteous life, anything. Without Him, literally without Him, I'm nothing. So yeah, He doesn't give you more than He can handle. Or maybe if you want to be a little more egotistical or joyful about it in that way, He never gives you more than you together, than y'all can handle. Put that on a bumper sticker, yo.